Next up, at UFC Vegas 94, we have Kurt Holobaugh taking on Kaynan Kruschewsky. Kurt Holobaugh 20.
Kaynan?
That'd be a lot easier.
Kurt
Holobaugh 20-8 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that decision loss to Trey Ogden. He's taking on Kaynan Kruschewsky, 15-2 in his career, 4-1 in the last 5, coming off the short notice loss to Elves Brenner. Kurt Holobaugh did win the Ultimate Fighter. He won that last season of the Ultimate Fighter. Style-wise, he's a come-forward striker, good pressure, good power. He's going to march forward, throw combinations, duck out, reset, and just do it all over again. He does have some wrestling, but it's a little more defensive, right? He's going to stuff the takedowns, try to keep the fight standing. His BJJ is very good. He looked incredible in that win over Austin Hubbard to win the Ultimate Fighter. He is coming off that decision loss that we broke down earlier to Trey Ogden, where he just couldn't defend the couple of takedowns there and then couldn't get up after getting taken down. He's taking on Kaynan Kruschewsky. This guy's a stocky striker. He's going to walk you down, take his time, explode when he sees openings. He does a nice job of controlling center and then throwing accurate strikes. He does seem low volume when you're watching him, but then he will let his hands go and he will fire away in the pocket. Striking defense is not great. Neither is his takedown defense, but he's got okay BJJ, certainly defensively. He's coming off that insanely short notice loss to Elves Brenner in his UFC debut. If Kurt was a more dominant wrestler, right? If Kurt, he's got some takedowns. Everybody does at this point. It's MMA. But if Kurt had real takedowns that he used on purpose, even when he's winning striking exchanges, he'd be the easiest pick because Kaynan can't really defend takedowns that well. I'm still going to pick Kurt, but I don't love it because Kaynan's a good striker. And if he owns the center and if he turns it into a brawl and Kurt's hanging out for a brawl, Kurt would be in a little bit of trouble. Kaynan is the better striker, certainly the more dangerous fighter in general, but I think Kurt's durability, I think his composure, he is a very composed guy, will suit him well. I'm going to pick Kurt. Not a ton of confidence in this pick. What do you think, Jakey Bambalots?
Yeah, I was all over Kurt. I think we mentioned the Trey Ogden breakdown. I was all over Kurt in that fight. I thought that he was going to have the striking advantage and even the grappling advantage. I mean, Kurt, I think, is like a ADCC champion at some point. Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu guy at his core. And he really kind of saw that, unfortunately, in that Trey Ogden fight because he was comfortable off his back. A lot of these high-level jiu-jitsu guys are just comfortable off their back, and he spent just way too much time there. Didn't have the sweeps he thought he was probably going to be able to hit, and when he can't hit those sweeps, you're just kind of fucking stuck there, and that's what happened in that fight. I believe that this is probably going to turn into a jiu-jitsu match because Kurt is willing to go to the ground. That's where he's the most comfortable, and Kaynan is also a high-level black belt. He trains at Fighting Nerds, right? People love the Fighting Nerds. He's one of those sneaky guys that's been there. He's 15-2, right? We just saw John Silva, Kaio, Rufio, what's up, Ruffy? I always call Rufio, but fucking Ruffy and Bruno Brazil, who's fighting next week. But Kaynan is part of that team, and coming off a bad knockout, which that was a bad knockout versus Elvis Brenner. It was a little bit, kind of a back of the head shot. It was a weird, but he flat on his face. I believe he's going to be much more comfortable on the ground, especially with the pressure that Kurt will bring, because Kurt will get in your face and pump those jabs out, but I think that pressure, Kaynan's going to be able to get to a takedown, and it's going to be whoever ends up on top. Each round, I think whoever ends up on top is probably going to stay in that position. I think there's going to be a lot of grappling, and I believe that Kaynan is going to be the guy that's going to end up on top. Kurt has shown that he's comfortable trying to play that guard game, and I think Kaynan's going to be at the top control. So, obviously, on the feet, Kaynan's probably the better striker. I guess he's a 9th degree black belt in Muay Thai, and I guess they don't even give out belts in most Muay Thai. That's like a modern thing to give out belts for Muay Thai to kind of modernize with all the other mixed martial arts or whatever, but I don't see that with his striking.
Because you got crucified in the comments. There's no belts in Muay Thai.
Did I really?
People did not. Oh yeah, a lot of people commented.
Oh, really? Even the Discord I was talking about, so I was I looked up because that wasn't me. I didn't say that. Dominic Cruz said that on the broadcast. So actually, he was announced, and Bisping was like, "This guy's a 9th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu." And Dominic Cruz goes, "No, I actually had that wrong. It's actually in Muay Thai. He's a 9th degree black belt in Muay Thai." And Bisping was mad at him because he like read his notes or whatever. But so Dominic Cruz said that. I don't know what these fucking people are. So don't blame me. That was what Dominic Cruz said. But I guess it is like a Western thing now for Muay Thai gyms to be so people can track their progress better. Now,
yeah, I mean, things evolve. Just like when I started jiu-jitsu, I started in 2000 and whatever the hell. In 2004, I got my blue belt, and then that's it. I didn't get another belt after that because the gym I was training at was an older school gym where no gi, you would not get promoted in no gi, and I wouldn't wear the gi. Fuck the bathroom. Right. So I was just training no gi all the time, and you will not get promoted. You would only get promoted wearing the gi. Now, I mean, I'm doing it for 20 freaking years. Now it's a very different world where you don't ever have to put the gi on to get promoted. So Muay Thai could be following that same path where they're handing out belts and sort of evolving and doing all that.
But
which makes sense because it gives you something to work
my point is he's supposed to be a high-level striker, and
yes.
He's probably going to be maybe a little bit better than Kurt, but he doesn't look like a fucking 9th degree Muay Thai fucking... I mean, when I'm thinking of that, I'm thinking of like a Charles Oliveira. I mean, how technical he is with everything. Yeah. And I mean, but fighting nerds, I think they get it done.
Yeah, I mean, the fighting nerds thing, if you guys believe in the ebbs and flows of some of these camps, and that is something. And we have seen the evolution of different camps, right? The rise and fall of the Jackson Wink camp. American Top Team is one of the only ones that's actually been stable. There was a giant chunk of time where they couldn't produce a world champion for anything. Like they just couldn't get a world champion, and then they got over that hump. And the rise and fall of some of these gyms is crazy.
Lobo was hot last year. Factory X started this year on
Factory
fire.
X is doing great now. That up in Denver, the little bit of rise and fall, they broke up a little bit. Then now, as in the last couple of months, not last week. And then we had the JUCO gym there. I forget what they called that. The rise and falls of gym.
Fight Ready, I think, has still never won in the UFC. Fucking Henry Cejudo.
Really?
Tracy was at Fight Ready. I don't know. I don't think they've ever won. I think they're 0-50. No, I don't know.
It is interesting, and if you do believe in those ebbs and flows of the gyms and the energy of the winning gyms, then Fight Nerds is the way to go because those guys are really, and gals, are really putting it together, making a name for themselves different ways. Kyle Barallo, insane grappler. Jean Silva, insane striker. Like very, they don't have their own style at that gym. Either way, all of that aside, who did you end up picking? Kaynan?
Kaynan.
Yeah. We are split on this, but it will be an interesting fight. It's a fun fight to watch. Both these guys are pretty busy, and they are going to go at it. Kurt Holobaugh, $7,500 in DraftKings Fantasy. If you think he can get a finish, which I don't necessarily think he's going to get a finish, but if you think he can get this to the ground, rack up some control time, get some takedowns, then he may be worth that $75,000. Kaynan Kruschewsky, 87. If you think he can take Kurt's head off, then that's the move. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's $10 for an entire month. You're going to get picks, bets, round line leans, a whole bunch of tools. All that's available for an entire month. UFC 304 is next week with 2 title fights. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.
Did you know, speaking of fighting nerds too, and I see it super chat, John Silva in the first round of that Dober fight broke both of his hands?
I saw that you sent that picture.
Both of his hands in the first round.
That's why he was spinning back elbowing.
But he was still like you wouldn't have known. Nobody ever was like
he didn't
anything.
Shake it out. Nothing.
Yeah, he didn't he just kept fighting, dude. Both of his hands.
Jonathan Valentine, $9.99. He said, "Random, how do I find the safety parlays?" Yes, I am a member.
Larry Valentine.
Johnny,
do you know what that is?
I know that's the name in the gay firefighter movie. That's an all-time
When he's
great.
talking to that, here, get this off the screen real quick. When he's talking to the automated thing, he's like, Larry Valentine. And she's like, did you say Schmary Palantine? He's like,
what's the name of that movie?
Larry Valentine.
I love that movie. What was the name of that movie?
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
I bet you do love it. That's right. It's a great movie. Anyway.
Bet you do.
The safety parlay, just when you log in the premium, the entire website converts the premium when you log in at WeWantPicks.com. If you click on analysis, you'll see official bets, fight picks, round leans, top picks. Just go to official bets. And then in that chart, you'll see my name because it's my bet. You'll see safety parlay, and then you'll see the actual safety parlay. If you want a full tutorial and tour of premium membership, just go to our YouTube channel. There's a freaking video right there with my big ass head, bright red thumbnail that walks you through everything premium, how to use it, how to access it, everything you need. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being a premium member.